In the autumn of 1888, the impoverished streets of London's Whitechapel district became the stage for a series of brutal murders that would forever haunt the collective memory of the city and spark one of the most extensive criminal investigations in history. Over a period of several months, a killer who would later be known as Jack the Ripper terrorized the community by targeting vulnerable women, primarily female prostitutes, who eked out a living on the dangerous streets of East London. The brutality of his crimes was unmatched. Each victim was savagely mutilated, their bodies left in public places to serve as grim warnings, and a series of gruesome details, including precise incisions and organ removals, pointed to a killer with an alarming anatomical knowledge. The canonical victims whose names have been etched into history are Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly. Mary Ann Nichols was discovered on August 31, 1888, her body bearing deep lacerations and signs of extreme violence. In the weeks that followed, Annie Chapman's murder further shocked the community as investigators found her body in a backyard with significant abdominal mutilations. The killings escalated in both frequency and savagery, and on September 30th, 2 murders occurred in a single night, a fact that added an even greater sense of urgency and panic among residents and law enforcement alike. With each new crime, the press, fueled by public fear, began to sensationalize the story, coining the moniker Jack the Ripper for the unidentified killer. The media coverage was relentless, with newspapers printing lurid accounts of the murders, detailed descriptions of the mutilations, and wild speculations about the killer's identity, motivations, and methods. Investigators, under immense public pressure, conducted numerous interviews and collected a multitude of evidence, yet no concrete leads emerged. The police faced immense challenges: the overcrowded and unsanitary conditions of Whitechapel, a lack of forensic technology, and a community wary of authority all combined to make the case extraordinarily difficult to solve. Despite the tireless efforts of detectives like Inspector Frederick Aberline and the newly formed Metropolitan Police Special Branch, the trail went cold after each murder. Many suspects were considered over the years, from local butchers and medical professionals to itinerant criminals and even members of the aristocracy, but none could be conclusively linked to the crimes. The investigation was hampered by conflicting witness testimonies, the inherent difficulties of 19th-century criminal forensics, and the chaotic urban environment that allowed the killer to vanish without a trace. Public fascination with the case grew as theories and rumors proliferated. Some speculated that Jack the Ripper was a deranged doctor who used his knowledge of anatomy to perform unspeakable experiments on his victims. Others believed he might have been part of a larger conspiracy involving members of the elite, using the murders to send a message or settle personal scores. As time passed, the murders ceased as abruptly as they had begun, leaving behind an enduring mystery that has fascinated criminologists, historians, and true crime enthusiasts for over a century. The legacy of Jack the Ripper is one marked by both horror and intrigue. His identity remains one of the most enduring unsolved mysteries in criminal history, and the case has spawned countless books, films, and academic studies that seek to uncover the truth behind the shadowy figure who once terrorized Whitechapel. In the decades that followed, the Ripper murders became a symbol of the dark underbelly of urban life in Victorian London, a city marked by stark contrasts between wealth and poverty, progress and decay. The case not only exposed the inadequacies of the police force and the social conditions of the time, but also left a permanent mark on popular culture, influencing the portrayal of serial killers in literature and media around the world. Today, the story of Jack the Ripper serves as both a grim reminder of the brutal realities of a bygone era and a source of endless speculation and debate. Historians continue to pore over old police files, contemporary newspaper accounts, and new forensic analyses in an effort to shed light on the true identity of the killer. Despite modern advances in forensic science and investigative techniques, the case remains unsolved, and the figure of Jack the Ripper endures as an enigmatic and terrifying icon of crime. If you found this deep dive into one of the most chilling chapters of criminal history both compelling and disturbing, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth explorations of true crime and historical mysteries that continue to defy explanation.